Who is a liability more than an asset in your life? This is somebody who could drink, okay, with Corona here. This is a drinker. Maybe somebody drinks too much around you, okay? This drinker, okay, whether they drink dark liquor, wine a lot, or beer, okay, but somebody is a drinker here, and I feel like maybe you share responsibilities with this person, and all they could do is drink, you know, be a drunk, so they can't ever like cover their half or do their, you know, do their part, take care of their part of the responsibilities. Maybe somebody is encouraging you to engage in drinking often with them, and it's like they're almost coming off as a bad influence, right? And they're low-key hindering you by always kind of wanting you to drink with them, you know, hang out to drink with them and get you fucked up like they fucked up. And it's like now maybe you can't even take care of what you're supposed to be taking care of, or it's just simply like them being a bad influence. You know, that's what makes them a liability. They're a bad influence because every time this person could come around, they could want you to drink, okay? They want to get you to pour up with them, take a shot, right? And it's like they're a bad influence, okay? Yeah, and it could be the extreme, like somebody's an alcoholic here. So it's like there's like an alcoholic in your energy. And again, some of you guys is not to the extreme, but if it is the extreme, they're like an alcoholic. And again, it's like somebody just can't really function, or they may even be a functioning alcoholic, but it's like at the same time this person just drinks their life away, and somehow this could be affecting you. You know, it's a liability for you. Maybe you even find yourself having to take care of them. Again, something about you having to clean up their slack, okay? Whatever they can't seem to do because they're so busy being drunk, it's like you have to pick up on their slack. And this could be like a grown woman, grown man, okay? So that is who is a liability here. Some of y'all with check coming out, this is somebody you could work with, okay? So this could be a coworker or a boss. This could literally be your boss or whoever does, you know, the finances in the business or the company that you work at. You know, the person who writes your checks, make your checks, pay you, okay? So clearly like a boss or owner, okay, is a liability here. Maybe this person isn't paying you your worth, okay, what you're worth, okay? Yeah, maybe you're not getting the correct amount. You're being ripped off, you know, when your check comes. This could be saying in general you have your boss or somebody is hard to deal with, somebody you work with. I'm trying to get at, okay? Somebody is who's an owner or a boss or whoever works with you, a coworker. But like I said, more so a boss or a manager or an owner. But it's like you could directly have issues with this person, which makes them a liability, okay? Again, they could be fucking with your money, your check. Or it's like you don't get along with this boss or this co-worker or this manager. It's like maybe they always like hoovering over you is even what I'm getting with check here. They always like kind of hoovering over you, seeing what you're doing or seeing if you're doing your job right, or constantly, you know, on your back when you could already know what you're supposed to do when you come into work. But it's like they always hovering over you, trying to find every little mistake or, you know, pick with you in some type of way. And again, others of you guys, it's just kind of like this boss. It's like this boss is overbearing or something. You know, this boss is yeah, something about this boss either hovering over you, or they're not paying you, you know, what you're worth, what you're supposed to be paid, okay? They could be shorting you in some type of way. Or it's like you literally just don't like your boss's manager, whoever's vibe. And it's like when you leave work, it's like you're irritated and you're kind of consumed with, you know, how you don't like this workplace or this boss. And, you know, it's a liability because, again, you come home, you're consumed. You're constantly have these people on your mind. You could be wanting to get something off your chest, but maybe you can't really like leave. You know, you could be, you know, having to do what you have to do right now. But it's like these people even consume you in some type of way because you don't really get along with these people. You don't like how they deal with you, how they handle you. You don't like them as a boss, a manager, something as simple as that. And again, it's the liability. It's like them constantly, them consuming you in ways you may not even know. But it's like if you coming home and you're constantly like thinking about it, talking about them, you know, they really get you riled up. It's like that's how they're a liability. They cost you like your emotions, and they cost you to be in like a, you know, they cost you your energy because you're constantly in your emotions, or, you know, worked up about them or the situation. You know, you're constantly like on edge with these people. But heavy on like these people could be shorting you or some type of way, fucking with your check, your money, just not paying you your worth, not valuing you as a employee, okay? And that's a liability because you can know that you deserve better in this job. You're supposed to be getting paid way more or something. Some of you guys, is like you could be even supposed to have been moved up, but you're still in the same, you know, something like that. But it's like they aren't really valuing you and paying you what you worth. And it's like that is fucking with your money, number one. And then two, again, it consumes you because you're ready to take it there with these people, right? And you kind of get consumed with it. Some of you guys, this is somebody who's constantly like on your back about drinking, okay? So somebody who's kind of like constantly on your back about drinking. And I want to say this could be about whatever you like to engage in, substance use. Somebody's like always kind of like on your back about why you're drinking or why you're smoking or why you are shopping a lot, or, you know, whatever like you could have an addiction in, or whatever like you like to do, you know, indulgence. It's like somebody keeps trying to ask you why you're doing something, or, you know, telling you that it's not good for you, judging you even, right? And that could be the liability in your life. Cause let's be honest, some people here, maybe you do do your thing. Maybe you do your thing in moderation. You indulge in things in moderation, or you know, maybe you don't, but that's something you genuinely like to do. And it's like the fact that we aren't, and it's like just the fact that we are not supposed to judge. Maybe somebody is judging you a lot, okay? And that is like the liability in your life, because you could be tired of this person judging you, trying to make you look like who you aren't, or just maybe even keep reiterating something that you already know about yourself. Maybe you know that you drink a lot, you smoke a lot, or you indulge a lot, and you just rather not hear somebody say something, right? I do want to add, though, sometimes you do got to take accountability, and sometimes you do got to just take the truth head on. And sometimes, you know, a lot of us don't want to hear the truth, but I would say if you really do have someone genuine around you and they are just worried about you, they're not necessarily judging you. You got to remember, you're taking it. That's how you're perceiving it. But if somebody genuinely seems like they are wanting what's best for you, then I feel like that's not really a lot. That person specifically can't really be a liability. That's just somebody really trying to help you, because they see that you're great, and they know that you're supposed to be doing way better, or you're supposed to be spending that time maybe doing something way better than what you spending your time doing, which is, you know, indulging in these substances or the things you like to indulge in. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to add that, like, yeah, you could be frustrated and all. You could feel like you're being judged, but for some people's story here, I'm sure for some people here, you have somebody who genuinely just wants to see you in a better condition, or using your energy better, you know, using your time and your energy for other things, you know, in life than just that, okay? But I feel like that message is more so heavy on, like, if you know you are a heavy drinker, or you use substances heavy, or you have like an addiction to shopping, sex, you know, whatever, hanging out, even whatever you like to indulge in and do. But I'm more so getting like drinkers here, okay? Somebody just keeps kind of like judging you about it, you know. Like I said, everybody not judging though. Just make sure you really can distinguish between the people who are judging and the ones who actually really want what's best for you. Because that's people's problem. A lot of people want people around them that's going to enable their behavior. Tell them that, yeah, that's cool, or yeah, keep doing that, or yeah, I'm with the shits. But really, you need that. But really, the person who probably more than likely care about you going to tell you straight up, no, that ain't it, right? Okay, so just want to add that in there. There's also somebody with the initials P, Q, R, S, or T is the liability in your life as well here, okay? So, again, this could even be like the initials of your boss's name. Like I said, there's some co-workers or a boss or an owner I was picking up on. That could be their initials, okay? So, heavy on if that's their initials, heavy on that being, you know, the liability here. Some of you guys, their name just starts with P, Q, R, or S, or T. It could be in their first, middle, or last. P, Q, R, S, T could also be a state where someone lives, where they reside. Could be a street name, a city, okay, of where someone is from or where they reside, okay, as to who is this liability. Also, this drinker here, name could start with the P, Q, R, S, or T here, okay, but the initials P, Q, R, S, T in general, someone with those initials or someone who resides or lives somewhere in that area is definitely a liability to you in some type of way. Let me pull it. Some of you guys, is this person with the initials P, Q, R, S, T is always kind of like bothering you, hitting you up, and you don't really want to deal with this person, right? You don't really, somebody here with those initials, I feel like be constantly like hitting you up, constantly on your line, bothering you. And what makes them the liability here is because it's like you don't want to be bothered with this person. So this is giving like someone of those initials is a pest, okay? Again, they're constantly like, this is even giving like, this is a stalker of yours. This is somebody who constantly watches you, constantly is studying you, checking up on you, checking for you. And so that's even giving like, this is somebody who just constantly watches you, could even watch your social media. It's somebody who's constantly watching you to see what you're up, to see what you're doing, what you're up to see how, you know, what they could do to sabotage you. This is somebody who's literally on your line, okay? And that person is a liability here, because it's like this is like a invasion of privacy I'm getting, okay? So it's like this person with these initials could be on your line to the point where they invade your privacy, and that's the part that makes them a liability. You don't need people that's that infatuated with your life. You don't need that, right? Especially if this is a person or someone, or even people, right? Because it could be multiple people with these initials that you know, but it's like you don't want that unwanted attention, right? And you could just feel, you know, invaded by this person. You could just feel that this person is heavily like on your line. They're worried about you. They're consumed with you and your life and what you're doing. And they could be, and some of y'all, it's like a liability because they could literally be popping up at your home. They could be literally hitting you up, texting your phone, okay? And I'm talking like somebody who is like constantly texting you, calling you, stalking you, riding past your house. This is that type of person here. So somebody, again, they're very infatuated with you, very consumed with you and your life and what you got going on, and they can literally take it as far as like you know, doing actual, you know, actually doing things, like actually physically doing things, you know, actually doing these things in action, like is a way of trying to get your attention. Okay, and I just keep getting like somebody's overly invested in your life, and this is why they are a liability. Again, you don't need that type of people around you, okay? Because again, it's like it fucks with you could feel very like invaded. I'm getting by this person. For me to say that, you could feel really invaded by this person, okay? it's like somebody constantly check up on you here with check coming out before they constantly checking on you. But it's like it's not even like in a good reason. And maybe they're just a liability because, again, you don't want to hear from this person. You don't want to deal with this person. You may not want to speak to this person, hang with this person. This can even be somebody you cut off or you pulled your energy back from. But it's like they're constantly on your line checking for you, okay? And it's like, again, you don't need that level of infatuation. It's like, I know people are infatuated with me, but I don't need this shit, right? And maybe to the point where it's overwhelming. Again, it's the liability when it starts fucking with your energy and your emotions. You could even feel overwhelmed because of this person always checking for you, always invading your privacy, always stalking, always watching you, always even like getting other people to check on you and hit you up and see what you up to. Like, this is like somebody who uses other people to get through to you and get in your business, okay? And this person is a liability, specifically if they have the initials P, Q, R, S, or T. Okay, what else? Who is the liability in the collective's life? Who is the liability here in the collective's life? Yeah, as we're literally talking about this shit, like it's like somebody in your life wants to keep you caged up. They want to keep you tied down. But this also ties into like somebody could literally be checking for you so much because they don't want to see you like do your thing, or they don't want you to be free, or they don't want you to get away from them. So now it's given like this is somebody in your life that could be very controlling. So maybe you're like a free spirit here, right? You kind of like to do your thing, do what you want to do, okay? You're not taking things too seriously. But on the other hand, I want to say the liability is somebody here who kind of is controlling. They like to really like keep people caged, okay? They like to, this is even somebody who has like a crab in a barrel mentality. You know, it's like they're very caged in, or they're very boxed in, and it's like they could not want to see other people not be in that energy. They could hate for other people to actually be free spirits and live their life because they're not like that. So that is the liability in your life. It's like somebody doesn't want to see you free, okay? It's to this person. It's somebody who doesn't really want to see you free. They don't want to see you, making moves on your own or making moves without them. Or they're very controlling. They can literally always keep you in the house, or, convince you to stay in the house. I'm even getting like my youngins here. You just could even be like a parent, okay? They constantly just want to keep you under their control, or keep you from, having your own independence in some type of way and being free in some type of way. Not to say that you could just go out and do what you want to do, because especially if you're like young here, but it's like they don't give you any type of freedom, okay? And it's like it's almost like this person doesn't have freedom themselves, so they kind of want you to be how they are, or they just have issues with wanting to control people, wanting to keep people from doing their thing. And it's people like that. Like, let's not act like, there's not dads who want to control the daughters and tell them that they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't have a boyfriend. Just little things like that. And so for me to mention parents, maybe some of you guys, this is your parent, okay? They just don't want you to have any type of freedom. And this is the liability in your life. This parent could literally be stopping you from being independent. Maybe this is a parent, again, like they have some type of controlling behavior. They want you to be under their control, so they can literally do things to keep you under their control because they don't want to see you free. Again, whether they don't have any freedom, so they don't want you to have it, or whether they genuinely have a controlling problem. They don't even see that, like, them trying to control you is low-key keeping you in a codependent energy. It's not allowing you to be free and be independent, because I kind of associate the two together. That free, independent, that's just you being free, being able to do you, move solo or handle stuff freely, And it's like somebody wants you under their control, or they just don't want you to have freedom because maybe they don't have it, or maybe they're just jealous in nature, you know, so they don't want you to have this freedom. So this is like a parent or someone in your energy. Their initials could even be PQRS or T. Again, that's confirmation. Or they could be a parent as confirmation. This is a parent. Some of y'all, this can even be like a boss or owner. They don't want you to go to another job and have another job, so they're trying to keep you stuck at that job, or you know, they're trying to like give you just enough so you don't go. But every time you about to go, that's when they try to like try to like offer you a promotion and stuff like that. That's when they want to like act right, something like that. But this is an energy, or this person in your energy that's a liability, is somebody who is very controlling. They could even struggle with codependency issues, but they damn sure want you to depend on them for sure. They want you codependent on them, and it's like they don't want to see you free, having fun, moving freely, being a free spirit, or again being independent, moving solo in some type of way. And that is who a liability is in your life, because I feel like it could really be hindering you. You end up, you know, turning around having this codependent energy on this person, even when you think you broke free and you no longer, you know, codependent on your parent or whoever this is. Next thing you know, they, you know, pull some type of tactic to keep you up under them again. And it's like, damn, I feel like, you know, I'm back codependent again. It's like I'm not fully independent like I thought I was again, something like that. But that's like the liability there, because you could be a grown ass woman, grown ass man here. Like I said, I'm feeling some young energy too. But it's like you are still your own person. And if you grown, it's like you grown and you damn sure really can do whatever the hell you want to do. But it's like you're low-key being held back because of this energy, or because of this parent that wants you to depend on them and not be free in some type of way. Not be able to move freely on your own and be independent to where you could take care of self or do for self and not need to depend on nobody. But they don't want that for you, okay? And this is who is a liability, okay? And again, the liability in general is just them, like, could literally be, you know, you not being free. Like I said, this could be somebody who intentionally does things to keep you, like, in the house. Or, you know, this is like somebody locking you in a room, telling you got to stay home. Like your friends that went out to have fun, but you got to stay home, stay in the house. Okay? This is like somebody constantly telling you to just go, you know, go entertain yourself, but you're not going here, you're not going there. Or you shouldn't go here, you shouldn't go here. Or literally purposely doing things to keep you in a house, keep you like even held hostage against your will is the liability, because it's like you literally could be in a place where you are not free, okay? Like I said, somebody could even be controlling to the point where they make you stay at home, or they make you stay in a room, okay? They want you tied down. They want you tied to them. Like, they don't want you to see any way out but with them. Like, your only way out will be with them. This is how, like, controlling somebody is. And some of y'all is just manipulation. That's the liability. This person is a manipulator, because it's like why are you trying to get me to not have freedom? Okay, but all that shit is a liability, and yeah, this is more of whatever. But regardless, this is like more of a liability than somebody that's an asset, okay, in your life. What else here? Yeah, it's like you have free will. I just got in, and it's like Well, you should know that if you don't know, we all have free will. And it's like somebody doesn't want you to have free will. And that's the liability in your life. Somebody doesn't want you to have free will. It's like, who are you to not want me to have free will and then go the extreme to make sure I don't have free will? That is who is the liability in your life. You have free will and you deserve it. Nobody can take that from you, right? Who is the liability in the collective's life? This is like even somebody withholding information. That's what I was getting, manipulation. This is like somebody, manipulation. I was trying to get it tied into this too. This is like somebody trying to withhold some information, like important information from you, because they know that it will allow you to have like freedom in whatever way. This is like somebody this is literally like somebody holding a check of yours, right? Telling you that, this, say your mail went to someone's house, right? You didn't have it come directly to you. Went to somebody's house, and they trying to say that, they didn't get it yet. Whole time they have this check or this piece of mail, but they hid it in their home somewhere. But they would never give you this check or never tell you that it came, because they don't want you to have freedom. And in this case, the example we're using is a check. So they do not want you to have financial freedom. So they're not going to give you this check. They're not going to give you this piece of mail. Of course, they're going to lie and manipulate you by saying that, they never received it, right? So I'm even getting that energy, like somebody is out here, like, even going the extremes to make sure that you don't like find your way independently. They want you to depend on them. And that is who does the liability in your life, because you could literally be seeking freedom or financial freedom, or you could be seeking to move solo and be independent. And it's like, you can't right now. And that's why, because you have this liability, which is this person who is manipulating you or controlling you, or making you feel as though you have to depend on them, or making you feel like you don't have free will. Like, this is like somebody playing God in your life. Like, you can't do anything because they said you can't do anything. Or they're making it to where you have to depend on them, so you can't do anything. This is disgusting energy. That's why I be pausing like that. Like, somebody doesn't want you to be free, okay? That's just bottom line. Somebody doesn't want you to have any type of freedom, and they want you to depend on them. And this person this energy, this person who acts like this in your life, this is who is the liability. And yes, they're a liability because this is stopping you. This is stopping you, okay? You can even have, you can even need this check right now. We're using it as an example, but shit, in real life, this ain't even no example. This is shit that really be happening in real life. But it's like, you could even need some money right now because you're trying to do something. You're trying to get something off the road. You could be trying to move. You could be trying to put this into your business, whatever the case is. But they know that that's what that would allow. And then it's like, they know that freedom is attached to that. And they're not going to let it happen. And that's why this person's a liability in your life, okay? They're literally stopping you from, like, moving forward, and even stopping your money for some, like, damn right, like, that's somebody who's a liability. You need our motherfucking money. One thing I don't play about is my money, right? So, yeah. I'm also getting this drinker, or this boss, this manager, or again, somebody with the initials P, Q, R, S, or T. Okay, take it how it resonate. Again, those are just confirmations. You got to take it how it resonate, apply it how it fits. But I'm also getting, like, in specifically, this person could have the initials P, Q, R, S, or T as to what I'm about to say, but doesn't have to be, okay? But I am also picking up with check coming out. Somebody here is always kind of like trying to check you, okay? And I'm getting more so like maybe always trying to criticize you. They could be very hypercritical or judgmental even, okay? Is what I'm picking up. And this is somebody who just, constantly feels the need to check you about everything, criticize you about everything. Like I said, this could even be that same person, or again, multiple people, but could even be that person that we said just always kind of on your line, checking for you. But again, it's like somebody never has maybe nothing nice to say. Maybe they never are, uplifting, because because it is a thing where, sometimes you do have to be criticized in life. That's the only way we really grow, right? But I am a strong believer, and I love how this topic is coming up, because I'm like a strong believer in having people around that uplift you, and people who and also having those people around that, will tell me about myself. But I really do not believe in, like, people who just constantly criticize. Like, at some point I'm gonna be like, what are you around me for? Why do you keep having something to say? And to me, it don't even come off as constructive criticism. This person that we're speaking about, in your life and your energy that could be doing this, they may think it's coming off as constructive criticism, but the energy I'm getting is this is somebody who constantly does that. And it ain't that much constructive criticism in the world, right? To the point where you doing this shit like every day, every hour of the day, every time I talk to you, you always criticizing me. Like I said, judgmental too. All this could play a part. I had already mentioned something about judgmental. Somebody like that in your life, it's like they constantly criticizing you, judging you, you know, checking you about something. And maybe this person never had shit nice to say, and maybe you starting to pick up on it. You like, damn, every time I talk to you, you don't never got nothing positive to say out your mouth. Never. It's always you trying to criticize me about something I'm doing, how I look, how I sound, who I am as a person. And I just feel like it ain't that much criticism in the world. So yes, this is person that's always criticizing you, very judgmental, hypercritical, that's around you. This person is a liability. The person who's an asset, more so an asset to your life, they're going to have positive things to say sometimes on top of giving you criticism sometimes. But no, this person is a liability in your life because they constantly criticize you. And again, all this plays a part in emotions. Again, your mental, your energy, just kind of manipulating your energy and making you feel off or making you feel a certain type of way. Even if you got the strongest, tough skin in the world, this shit is irritating though, okay? Like, just to have somebody around you constantly trying to put you down or fake tell you that they giving you criticism and maybe even trying to tell you don't know how to handle criticism or you can't take the truth. No, motherfucker, you coming off more like a hater. And then it's just like, who are you to sit around trying to criticize somebody all day? Most of the time, well, let's talk about this person because we're talking about whoever this liability is. Most of the time, the person, like in specific, who this liability is in your life, be the main one who life fucked up or something, and they need to, like, basically they need to be criticizing themselves. They be the main one trying to criticize everybody else when they need to be criticizing their damn life. Okay, so again, somebody just never has nothing nice to say. I mean, even if they are criticizing you, giving you some constructive criticism, it never comes off the right way. Maybe even the how they relay the message to you, how they relay giving you the constructive criticism, maybe even be coming off foul as fuck. Like, they don't even know how to give constructive criticism on top of that, right? And it's just like somebody ain't never got nothing good to say. I don't care what nobody say. That's unrealistic at some point. Like, how you always criticizing somebody. Like, it's usually turning into somebody who is hating on you, who is envious of you or your character in some type of way. So they feel the need to pick at it because, again, all that comes with somebody trying to feel better about themselves. So they're going to pick with you. I don't know what the case is. That's not for us to figure out. But it just ain't no way in hell that you constantly are criticizing somebody, okay? Take that time and criticize your own motherfucking life, okay? How about that? Okay, because why you can't never do that? You're, especially these sometimes are criticizers, that don't got they life fucked up and they want you to listen to them. They call themselves giving you some constructive criticism. I wouldn't even want your life, and you trying to tell me, you trying to give me some constructive criticism. I'm not even inspired by your life. Okay, like, nothing you do is inspiring to me. So how do you, like what do you think you're doing by so-called giving somebody constructive criticism? But that's beside the point, y'all. This is just the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling like y'all be in this energy, okay? Like, because this shit is annoying. And that's what I'm saying. That is a liability for you. You don't need people like that around you. A person that's in your life should be able to give you criticism just as much as they should be able to lift you up, lift your spirits, say something positive, be a positive influence in your life. It's no such thing as just you constantly having something negative to say, because criticism can be negative or judging, whatever. It's no way that you're constantly doing that and you don't follow with any type of like encouragement or positivity or uplifting words and encouragement. You don't do that. So again, that's a liability in your life. So you don't need that. You don't need those type of people in your life. Point blank, period. Let's get two more. Some of y'all inner knowing just came out. You could even know, your intuition has already like nudged to you who this is, okay? Who is the liability in your life. So you can even know, maybe even when you go around this person, you get a lot of like knots in your stomach, or again, like it's just like your intuition nudging at you. Same thing, and it's like it's just like you have inner knowing here, whoever I'm speaking to. So you genuinely already know and can feel who this is, okay? That's a liability. So that is what that is already letting us know. You genuinely can know who this is already. Your intuition, your radar has already went off about who this is, okay? So again, these could be multiple people or one person, but you for sure, with inner knowing here, you for sure know who at least one of these people are, okay? I really feel like this is also somebody who likes to try to throw off your intuition as well. Like, you could be very intuitive here. Again, you have inner knowing, confirmation. You could have inner knowing, and it's like somebody be trying to throw you off to make you feel like you don't have inner knowing, that you're not connected, and grounded, that you're not very intuitive, when you are definitely intuitive. You're 100% intuitive, right? So I would say manipulation here again. It's just somebody in your energy who's very manipulative, and that is the liability in your life, because when people manipulate you, okay, again, it all starts to play a factor in your emotions, your energy, and all that is costing you. That's what makes this person a liability, okay? This is even like manipulators manipulating you out of things that could have been for you, opportunity. That's what makes this person a liability. But it's like, yeah, this is somebody who likes to kind of throw you off, this is like your crown chakra. Somebody be trying to fuck with your crown chakra or your third eye, make you feel like you don't see something when you know damn well that's exactly what you're seeing. Like, trying to make you think you're not seeing what you're seeing the whole time. You can see beyond the veil. So it's like, how you even go and try to make somebody think they don't see nothing when you can see behind the veil? You see all this shit. You even see what this person is doing type shit. But they would like to make you think that you are not as intuitive, or you're not very woke, when you are 100% woke. More woke than the average, okay? So somebody's like making you doubt yourself, and that's what I'm getting. That's why somebody's a liability here. They want you to doubt yourself. And again, they become the liability because, again, it's an emotional thing. It's an energy thing. You start doubting you. You literally start to doubt yourself, okay? You really start to think that, perhaps what this person is saying is true. But the other side of you being that intuitive person, or you just knowing things you low-key know is not. But then the other part of you, got you questioning yourself. And that's what makes this person a liability. Nobody should ever be around you, and they kind of trying to like alter how you see yourself, or trying to make you believe something that isn't true, isn't there. Especially when it comes to how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. If they trying to make you perceive yourself in a bad way, all that is a liability. You need people that's going to be around you, that's going to lift you up. Okay, people with good spirits, people with good energy, good vibration, good people with high vibrational energy. That's what you need around you. Those are those are the type of people that are assets. You ain't going to go far with people like that in your life, or you ain't gonna ever feel good about yourself with people like that in your life, and that's what makes them a liability. Some of y'all, this is somebody who's spiritual, okay, or very intuitive, okay, and maybe some of you guys, you could feel like somebody is too much, somebody's like a psychic, intuitive, or spiritual, I want to say, but they could low-key be a liability in your life, because they always do say, knowing too much can sometimes hurt you, right? And I'm starting to believe that. I truly believe that. It's not like I'm starting to, but I've always believed that in a way, right? Because too much of anything ain't good. So it's like sometimes when you are very much woke, very much aware, it can scare you, your damn self. So imagine like the people around you that know that you know certain things, right? When you have that level of like intuition and knowing and stuff, right? So it's like somebody around you like that could be a liability in your life, because maybe you just aren't ready to know someone like that. Maybe you aren't ready to meet someone like that. This is even like this is you knowing a lot, and it's kind of fucking with you, because again, knowing too much sometimes ain't a good thing. It's like how do you function when you peep everything, when you're aware of everything? Okay, so I'm even getting like this can even be you right here. This part can even be you. You're a liability in your own life, because maybe you can't really maybe you can't even, to be honest, fathom what you know, okay? Because let's not act like everybody's on, been on their spiritual journey for years now. Some people just now getting on their shit, and it will scare you. You will be really, it's not like it's a spiritual journey, but when you just wake up to life, when you start waking up to life and like really seeing things, like seeing beyond the veil, it will kind of like freak you out a little bit, because you're like, whoa. Like, you really start seeing shit for what it is. I'm talking like not just the physical of what's in front of you. You start seeing beyond that shit. Imagine like how wild that gotta be, right? So that's literally what like really intuitive people go through, or psychics go through. Like, they don't just see what you see. They seeing way past that, right? So it's like that could freak you out. So you could be your own liability if you are very intuitive here, or you have inner knowing, or you're even on a psychic level, you're a seer, a medium or something. It can even fuck with you. You could even be your own liability, because it's like you either know too much, or I'm even getting like you just started on your journey and it's kind of like freaking you out, and it's like you don't know how to handle it. So some advice for that, you just kind of want to look into how you can handle, being that type of being, such a being like that, right? Because you are a little different type of being when you can really see things, than the average, than what the average person can see. So you just got to kind of figure out how to channel those energies and how to tame it, so it doesn't take over you, okay? Because I am getting that. That's kind of deep. Like, somebody here is like you your own liability, because again, you may not be able to handle it. You having this much inner knowing, or being this psychic or this intuitive. Others of you guys is like you just now started, and it's just like, whoa. But either way, it's like it's a lot for you, because you're so aware, you're so in tune, or you're channeling so much energy, or you're seeing so much beyond the veil. Like, it's just that you don't know, like, because I know that's how it started for me. Like, I was young, not knowing where it was coming from. I've been like this. When I was young, I did not know where this shit was coming from. But sometimes it's you channeling so much energy, especially if you're like an empath here too on top of that, okay? But it's like, in general, to me, you don't even have to be like an empath. Like, once you are maybe psychic level, or it's like you're everything in one. It's like not even like no category. So some people just consider themselves empaths, and they're not like psychics or very much intuitive. But to me, when you are very intuitive, or your psychic level, all that should come with it. So again, whatever you like to call yourself, I'm just getting like even empaths deal with that. It's just something about you maybe not being able to handle like all this energy you're channeling, or all these visions you're having, all these downloads you're getting from spirit source, okay? You may not be able to handle it, and it's like you not being able to handle it is what is the liability, because you can fuck around and really like either go crazy. You know, sometimes this is why people really end up going crazy, or, you know, you start putting your energy into the wrong things, okay? Or you even start taking your energy out on other people because you don't know how to deal with it. Or again, from you knowing too much, feeling too much, you know, just being so aware, it's like you won't even open up, or it's like you feel like you can't fit in, okay? It can really drive you crazy, okay? And I'm really getting that energy, and for me to be elaborating, that is definitely for somebody here. The liability is you, baby. It could sound crazy, but it's like it's you, okay? You are your own liability as well here. And y'all know me, I'm real, and I'm just real. I'm going to keep it real every time. So some stuff is going to be other people, but sometimes, like I always say, sometimes it be you. Things do start with you, okay? So it does look like you are also a liability of yourself here, because it's like you cannot know how to deal with this side of you. So again, I just encourage that you go read about it, you know, figure out where to channel this energy, where to put it, because it is tough. Because it's like you could just be so damn aware that you can't even function in the regular world, you know, because most people, again, especially having humans walking around, they still like kind of just so surface level. They just seeing shit for what it is, not knowing this shit that go way beyond the physical that you seeing. You're not seeing just surface level. So it's like you almost around people who are kind of just functioning, but they not really like woke like you are. So it's kind of like, I'm just saying, it could really throw you off, you guys. So that could be something, you know, you gotta really work on and research about. It's just kind of like research. It's kind of like just, you know, researching about yourself, whatever you even want to label yourself or call yourself or feel like it is. But it's definitely tied to like your intuition, you being psychic, being able to see beyond the veil, or just being an empath, being able to pick up on a lot of energies. But you definitely got to read about yourself to figure out how to channel the energy, okay? Because other than that, you will be your worst liability. Like, again, this is as simple as like you not even being able to be open with people because you see beyond the veil so much. You know, it's like you can't even like, or it's like you brush people away because it's like you don't even want to deal with people because you already see through them. Like, but I've been learning too, like that can't always be the route that you take, because sometimes you can miss out on opportunities because you just, you know, it's not that you think, you really are aware, you see shit right for what it is, but you can't let that kind of get in the way though of like an opportunity, you know, if you get what I'm saying. Like you can't let that like really take over to the point where like you not really functioning, because you still, you know, gotta function in this 3D world at the same time. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I can't even finish elaborating on it. That's how deep that shit is. But that is also a liability, okay, you guys? So again, just research about yourself and figure out how you can channel this energy of, or this feeling, or just you being whatever you label yourself as, and that will help you, you know, maneuver through life. But right now it's like a liability because you don't know how to handle it, okay? Before I even started elaborating that long, traveling that long on that, I was trying to say I'm also getting that this is someone, if this isn't you though, this is someone around you who is a liability because they know that you know a lot, okay? So it's kind of like there's somebody around you that could be very intuitive, spiritual, you know, very psychic even, or they know that you are like this, right? And they're a liability because they could know, because they know who you are, right? They know who you are. They could kind of move different with you, right? And then it could kind of make you feel like something's wrong with you. So that's kind of what makes them a liability. Again, this is all tying it back into like how people manipulative behaviors, or the things that they could do, or, you know, it could really affect you and cost you, because it's like you start to question yourself, or you start to look at yourself different, you know, if you don't have that tough skin. That's why you want to gain that tough skin. But, you know, just speaking in general, people do that. And I'm just getting like, the liability in your life is this person around you. So if there's someone around you who knows that you are very intuitive or psychic or whatever, an empath, whatever, so they can know that you're like this, right? They 100% know that you're this way as well too. And it's like they could move different with you, act funny with you. Okay? And it's like that they are a liability though, because it's like if this person can't accept you for who you are, then again, like I said, it's all about people with good energy and bad energy. Not necessarily saying their energy is bad, but if they feel like they gotta treat you differently or feel like they gotta out you, put you in some type of category and treat you different because of who you are, you can't help, you're gifted or you're talented or that's who you are, that's how God made you. You can't help that. And so if somebody can't really accept that part of you, you get what I'm saying, that makes them a liability, because again, they won't be able to bring you any good energy. They won't see you in a good light, okay? All they would do is maybe be intimidated by this. Intimidated that the fact that you're a medium, you're a psychic, you're very intuitive, or an empath, you could pick up on hella energies. They will be always intimidated by this. This wouldn't like really inspire this person. This will always have them intimidated, or they will again treat you differently. Or they would even out you, make you feel as though like you're different from everybody else, but more so in a bad way. And like I said, this makes this person liability because you are just like everybody else. We all just have our own talents and qualities and things about us that are different, and we're supposed to be like that. If everybody was the same, I mean, what would the point be for us to be here, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, and that's not somebody's job to make you feel weird or less than about who you are, because you can't control it. Like I always say, talk it up with God, because that's not your issue. God made you perfect the way He made you the way He wanted to make you. And that's on that. So if they got any other problems, they got to talk it up to Him, because it's like you can't help who you are. So again, I feel like, and because I said like that, these are people who can't accept that you are who you are. And that's what makes them a liability. People who can't accept you for who you are, they will always be looking for a fault. Okay, they're always going to look for a fault. Like I said, they're always going to out you, treat you different, act like there's something wrong with you. Maybe even like, they're always going to out you like the bad person. Even make you out to be a villain, right? Even though that ain't even the motherfucking case. But when people can't accept you for who you are, that's the liability in itself, okay? You need people around you who accept you for who you are, who love you for who you are, who appreciate you just as you are. If they can't, they gotta go. Okay? Because you are who you are, and you're not changing for nobody. God made you who you are because that's what He made you to be, and He did His thing. That's not your problem. Okay? So, yeah, these people are not able to really, like, enjoy you, I want to say. They don't really respect you even, because a lot of times people don't respect what they don't understand, or people don't like what they don't understand. People hate what they don't understand. So that's the energy I'm getting. It's like all because you're gifted, you're talented, or you have really strong inner knowing, it's just things that you see, feel, that's just beyond this world, that a lot of people won't be able to fathom. But for you to be in my life and make me out to be a villain or a bad person, or make me out to be weird or different, or, the whole time different is lit. I'd rather be different than be somebody categorized as everybody else. But anyway, yeah, these are people who can't accept you for who you are here. And that is the liability in your life, because somebody who's an asset is going to love who you are. They're going to try to understand you, at least before hating you, right? They're going to try to understand you before judging you. That's what I'm getting to. These people could judge you for who you are, what you know, type of talent you have. But that is not your problem. And these people are a liability. You need people who are assets. Somebody who's going to even add to the fact that you are this person. There's people who's going to want to know more about what you know, or people who's going to be interested, inspired, people who are going to uplift you, people who are going to make you feel good, make you feel supported, even praise you for even how you are. But it's like right now you got liabilities around you, people who are treating you like shit because of who you are, okay? is what I'm really getting. So that's what I'm getting for you guys, though. This is a little bit about who is the liability in your life. Let's do some zodiac signs. And remind you, we had a couple confirmations. Like I said, somebody could be a boss, a manager here, or this is like who you legit know. I forgot the name. This is like who you legit know, like writes your checks, prints your checks out, or you know, you pick your checks up from this person. I forgot what they call, but the people who do like the financial work in the job, or it's the actual owner or manager or boss, whatever. Those are some confirmations we got. Somebody also here is like psychic, very spiritual, very in tune, a medium here, an empath, like I said, and that could also even be you. It's confirmation. Somebody has the initials P, Q, R, S, or T, first, middle, or last, or they live somewhere, from somewhere, stay on the street somewhere, work somewhere with the initials P, Q, R, S, or T. Your initials could also be P, Q, R, S, or T, right? But as well as someone else's. So you and someone could have those initials. And somebody is also a drinker here. We'll keep wanting to say tequila even. Somebody's a drinker here, though, okay? They could drink a lot. Maybe even an alcoholic, okay? Maybe somebody even has like a bar where they have a lot of alcohol bottles in their home in some type of way, whether they have like a cellar, a bar, or they just keep a lot of bottles around, okay? As to who this is, okay? Who is a liability in the collective's life? Okay, so this can be an Aries, an Aquarius, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, or Sagittarius. Taurus, heavy on the Aries, Cancer, and Gemini. Okay. Somebody could be born on the 19th, the 4th, the 6th. You could be born on those dates, or these could be your placements as well too. But these are definitely someone's placements. They could have them in their big three, or they could be born in those dates, okay? So that's what I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I will see y'all in the next one.